Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. Hello. I'm Shabir Ali with another book review, and today I'm reviewing this book. It's entitled How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's by Dale Carnegie. This is a very old book. I remember reading this in my very early years. This book was published in 1936, would you believe it? And I've been reading it, for decades. This book has actually had a tremendous impact on me. I'll explain how. Dale Carnegie has written many books, and he's actually developed a course that has been taken by many business people, leading to their success in business and in life. This particular book is said here to have been sold over 15 million copies, and that was, what they could have claimed when they published this edition, which was 1981. So since, it must have sold even more. So it's a very influential book. What's so different about this? Well, it gives you skills and techniques that will help you in everyday life. And as I look back over the books, thought back, what are the books that shaped me and produced the character that you see in front of you, like Shabir Ali. How did I get to, be what I am? By the grace of God, obviously. But one of the books that has influenced me greatly is this particular book. I remember reading it on the way to work, on the subway, and so on. What does the book do? It gives you some ideas on how to get ahead in life, how to, it's not from the, when people see how to win friends and influence people, sometimes they get the wrong ideas, like as if maybe you're trying to influence people to con them or something like that. But no. In the world of ideas, we're always trying to influence somebody else. Like you go for a job interview. Well, you're trying to influence the boss to hire you. You're trying to present yourself in a way that is amenable and that people will like you and they want to be together with you. You're making a marriage proposal. Well, you want people to like you and so on. But you don't want to deceive people because that's not going to end up good for you. Going to a marriage proposal, you present a false facade of yourself. And then people marry you because of that facade, and later on the facade drops. They see the real you, and now it ends up bad in the long run. So it's not from the point of view of trying to deceive people at all. No, that far from it. It's to present yourself as a genuine you, but at the same time to do so in a way that actually will be amicable and lead to friendship and mutuality and so on. So one of the ideas here is that you should have a genuine interest in people. Now, I found it in my work of dawah, as I try to give the message of Islam to non-Muslims, it helps if I have a genuine interest in the people that I'm having a dialogue with or trying to give dawah to. And maybe some of the du'at out there are not really attuned to this principle. Maybe they think, okay, this person are going to go to hell anyway, but I'm just doing my job of just giving them the message. So at least I can say to Allah, I gave the message. Yeah, that's part of it. That's true. That, maybe the person is stubborn and will not change. And maybe all you can hope to get out of this is to just say you've delivered the message and then you're done. And on the Day of Judgment, you can say to Allah, Ya Rabb, at least I delivered your message. But that's not going to be an effective dawah. That's a defeatist mentality to begin with, because you already preconceived that this person is not going to listen to you, and the person is going to pick up on that. The person knows can recognize the attitude. But if you have a genuine interest in the person, and you're not necessarily trying to convince the person, you just feel for this person. This is a fellow human being. You love this person for the sake of God. You love this person as a fellow human being. And you're just trying to share some ideas with that person. It's almost like if you know that there's a job available, the other person needs a job, and you're trying to inform them that there's a job available. A lot of the times, people just don't know what Islam is, and they don't know that there's an alternative belief to their own that's available for them to consider. So that's all you need to do, is to give them that alternative. So pay a genuine interest in people. Now, I style that, as if this is about dawah. This book really is about navigating yourself in the secular world without any reference to religion. So I don't want to steer it too much into the religious discourse. And it's good that in this series of book reviews I've done this Ramadan, that there is a book like this, which is secular in nature, because a Muslim has to be a holistic person. It's not only about reading Quran and reading Hadith, reading about the life example of the Prophet, peace be upon him, but it's also, developing a personality that is something apart from religion itself. Of course, the Muslim personality is going to be infused with the Quran and the Sunnah, the life example of the Prophet, peace be upon him. But it can also benefit from many of the insights that are already out there in the secular world, given by people who are studying human behavior and psychology and so on. So one aspect of psychology that Dale Carnegie speaks about is getting to know the names of people and trying to remember their names. If you refer to people by name, people take that as one instance of your genuine interest in them, and then they respond to you in a better way. Try to give a compliment to another person, and compliment is different from flattery. Flattery, as Carnegie points out, is only on the tongue. A compliment, a genuine compliment, should come from the heart, so it is heartfelt. And don't feel that you have to give, a gigantic compliment, so you have to make it up. It can be something very simple, and it should be related to something the person did. So it seems that it's genuine, and not seems, but it's really genuine, and it's connected to what they have done, connected to a fact. Whereas flattery is like, you're the greatest in the world. So somebody may listen to that and say, well, okay, I know I'm not the greatest. He's just saying that to make me feel good. That's flattery. But if you say, that was a good job you did there. So they know that they did a certain job, and you're saying that was a good job. So that's a compliment. And you don't have to be too specific. You don't have to start making the exceptions. That was a good job, except, because now the except is going to take away from the compliment. And be aware of the power of the word but. Because when you use the word but, it can negate everything that you said already, at least in the minds of the person. That was a good job, but it seems that it's no longer a good job. Now the ears perk up and somebody's listening for the criticism. So you might change the but to and. I know it might sound cumbersome in a sentence, but you have to find a creative way to change the but to an and where this is possible. So I want to say that's a great job you did there. And there's one more thing that I would like to bring to your attention. And so you change the but to the and then the and introduces the criticism rather than the but, because the but is going to negate everything in the mind of your listener. Admit your own mistakes before you start pointing out the mistakes of others. According to Dale Carnegie, when you start pointing out the mistakes of other people, they become defensive. But when you point out your own mistakes first, the defensive shield drops, and people are more willing to listen because they know that you're not just trying to criticize them as persons, you're just trying to deal with the facts, and that you are so willing to look at the facts objectively that you are willing to start with a criticism of yourself as well. In delivering criticism, Dale Carnegie's suggestion is that we layer it with some praise. And you can think of this as a sandwich approach, where you start with some praise, then you offer the criticism, then you end up with some praise. So the criticism is sandwiched between two elements of praise. So, for example, you can say to somebody, you did great there, and there's just one thing I want to bring to your attention. And then, in conclusion, that was a great job. So great, and in between the criticism. Now, it helps to give people ideals to live up to, especially if you're talking to younger people and they have a whole life ahead of them. So give them ideals to live up to. So they want to live up to those ideals and to an image of themselves that you're helping them to create. So, for example, if you say, you're a bad kid and you did something bad, well, the kid might conclude, well, what else do you expect? I'm a bad kid. I do bad stuff. But if you start with something like, you're a great kid, And that one thing you did there does not really reflect your greatness. I think you're a great kid, and I really expect that you will do great things. So then you started off with the great, you ended up with the great, you sandwich the criticism in between, and at the same time you gave the kid an image of himself or herself to look up to and to live by. So that kid wants to do great things because the kid felt good when you said you were a great kid. The kid wants to hear more about that. They wants to hear more of that praise of people saying you're a great kid, and they know what they have to do now to keep up that image as a great kid. So this book has proven to be, a gem. It's, it's only a few dollars to buy, but it can be worth millions to a person in terms of the success that can be developed in a person's life, in terms of material, but also in terms of spirituality and in social interactions. It's been a very helpful book to me. It has helped me in my dawah, in interacting with people, and as an organizational leader. I hope that this book will make a difference in your life. Perhaps it may even change your life. Thank you for watching. I'm your brother, Shabir Ali. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. My dear friends, I want to appeal to you to support the important work we're doing this Ramadan. Visit QuranSpeaks.com and click Donate. May God reward you for your generosity, and may you have a blessed Ramadan.